I was on the side and I was a little nervous. I was praying, please don't let anything happen. That whole stage from the left to the right was lined up with policemen. We were afraid for him because he wasn't scared of anything.
I'll be all right. I'll be fine. I'll be all right.
He knew what could happen. He knew that a riot could erupt, you know, and he didn't want that to happen any more than I did or anybody else, you know.
I'm all right. I'm all right.
The young people were getting so excited. Some of them started rushing to the stage. And the police were ready. No doubt they was probably a little afraid too. And Mr. Brown immediately took over. Wait!
Wait a minute. They're all right, that's all right. It's all right.
I really thought that it was going to be escalated to something different. I really did.
Wait a minute, now we got to show that we're young men and young ladies. Wait a minute. Now wait!
That was really a moment, and it could well have been the crucial moment.
Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen.
Relations were not good between the Boston Police Department and the black community. But if that had gotten nasty, which it well could have, it would have been horrendous. It would have gone up like a torch.
But can I please have your attention? Wait a minute. Wait. This is no way. We are black.
Here you get James Brown in Boston, who's not a pacifist, calling for peace among a people whose hearts have been shattered, heartbroken, cracked open hearts owing to their love for Martin.
Can't y'all go back down and let's do the show together? We're black. Don't make us all look bad. Let me finish doing the show. Come off the stage. Sit on the show. Step down there. Be a gentleman.
He had a way, man. He had a way of handling what he did, and he stopped it. He had a way, and they listened to him.
You make me look very bad because I asked the police to step back and you wouldn't go down. No, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. No, you're not being fair to yourself and me either. You're not being fair to yourself and me either, or your race. Now, I asked the police to step back because I figured I could get some respect from my own people. That makes sense. And all we together win.
Serious situation. Very serious situation. And yet his music had a healing effect. There's no doubt about it.
Get the thing,
In just a moment, we're going to do something rather wild for television. We're going to repeat tonight's concert, James Brown and his troupe. Now, if you have any friends who would have enjoyed tonight's concert at the Boston Garden, won't you tell them that we're going to repeat the show right now on Channel 2, Channel 44, and on our radio station, WGBH-FM.
2 hours of magic was now suddenly going to be expanded to 4 hours of magic, which would have gotten us beyond the point when most people would be on the street raising hell.
We all have egos, and Mr. Brown had a super ego, and I kind of think that, you know, that ego was telling him, hey, man, you did it. You showed this up. The mayor couldn't handle him. No one could handle him. Only I could handle him. Only I, James Brown. Knowing him, I'm sure that's what was running through his mind.
If I had to do it all over again, the thought of putting on something that distracts from a crisis is a great idea.
I almost felt that a kind of revolutionary energy was being channeled into an entertainment experience, however sublime that experience was, and it was.
He knew that he was taking that anger and that fury and channeling into a show business performance. But he also made the choice that that was the only thing he could do to show respect to Dr. King and to save people's lives that night. So even though there was those that criticized him of trivializing this to a show, he understood that it may be a trivial way of saving lives and preserving Dr. King's legacy. But however he did it. And you can argue the means and the technique, but you can't argue the results. Mr. Brown did not stop the riot. Mr. Brown stopped it from being a riot. So before the people started tearing everything up, Mr. Brown spoke to them. But I want to make that very clear. I want to give credit where credit is due. Of course, we lost a lot of money. You know, he had his own plane, his own Learjet and whatnot, and we had a staff. So they agreed to pay expenses. A certain amount of money was to go to Mr. Brown, which we did not get. I heard that we did. We did not get it. We got exactly $10,000.
He was worth the 60. I don't know about the music, but for the city he was.
Where the rest of the money went, we'll never know. And Mr. Brown just shrugged his shoulders and said, well, we're doing a good thing, so that was it.
I remember we left Boston, and the discussion on the bus was, did you really think that something was going to go wrong? And then I think everybody basically on that bus said, you know what? I thought we were going to have to leave in a ball of fire. I just thought Boston was going to be devastated. And it didn't happen. Nothing bad happened. And that was the best part of that.
While the Boston concert had prevented any serious violence, other cities were not so fortunate. Detroit, Chicago, Baltimore, more than 100 American cities burned, leading to over 40 deaths and 20,000 arrests. As word spread of what had happened in Boston, Brown was suddenly thrust into a new leadership role. On the morning of April 6th, in ravaged Washington, D.C., Mayor Walter Washington told his staff, find James Brown wherever he is, and ask him to come. He can get through to these people.
D.C. was 80% black, the nation's capital. They needed James. They heard what we did in Boston very quick. And in a split second, James was gone to D.C.